big problems that we've got when we talk about shutting it out. I'm kind of writing a response to some of that now to the speaker and saying, what do you expect them to do? I mean, really, what do you expect them to do when you storm into their factories and you take over their factories? When you storm into their churches and you take over their churches? These are people who were birthed in freedom itself. It's in their DNA. They fought for it in the Revolutionary War. They fought for it in Omaha Beach. They continue to fight for it today. And do you expect them just to pat you on the back and go quietly into the night and say, it's okay? I don't think that's going to happen. And I think what we have to do is realize they're trying to pull out our ability to speak out every place they can. It's not just you. It's many. I mean, they won't let us put amendments on bills on the floor, on many of these huge bills. They cut off our debate where we can't talk. And so what we tried to do is go on the floor and respond, and thank goodness for the internet, because I'll tell you, the network news anymore is just like an infomercial, for the administration. Let me give you one example. When the president went halfway across the world and declared that we were not a Judeo-Christian nation. Well, we went on the floor. We responded to him. We had 3 million people around the country, or more than that, 3 million hits, who hit it and said, we agree, that we are a Judeo-Christian nation. But we did it in an intellectual way, in a response way, and we challenged them to come back. And they haven't done it. And I think what we have to do is continue that kind of response. But again, we need to stand. And standing is important. With this case down in Florida that I mentioned earlier, we ended up with 1,000 people just standing outside the courtroom. There was a group of bikers, motorcyclists, they rode around the courthouse, and to let people, they were just standing there. I hope they'll come a day we'll have 5,000 or 10,000 people that just stand so that they can't do these kinds of things and make these kinds of statements, and we just got to hold them accountable.
Absolutely. Read one more quote.
Many of you know, Humana came out the other day, and they said how costly it was going to be for this health care bill if it passed, and they sent a notice out to people who were participating in their plan. The federal government came in on the regulatory arm, and it's putting enormous pressure on them. So what's happening is this: they're having to defend it by pulling back and spending huge amounts of money to defend it. So a lot of other healthcare groups are saying, not us, we can't say that. One last thing on that. One of the big things that's happening now is they are using the Department of Justice to go after individuals, and they're criminalizing everything. So here's what happens. If, Darren, you are serving in government and you've done something they don't want you to do, they will come after you criminally. Now here's the problem with that. It's not that they're going to convict Darren ultimately, but it's the cost that he has to pay to defend himself. The average cost on this is about $500,000 to $1 million to defend yourself. Not many of us in this room could afford to defend yourself in that situation. I was talking the other day, the Judiciary Committee had selected me to do the defense for a national figure they were coming after with these depositions. Because what they do in the depositions, they're not trying to get you for any real crime. They're hoping you'll say one thing contradictory in your deposition so they can get you for obstruction of justice. And I asked all of you, how many people remember what they ate last Wednesday? I mean, I don't know what I ate this morning, but they're asking people 5 years back, did you say this, did you do this? And that's very, very tough. But it's not only tough to go through it, but the cost factor is enormous. You know how much it costs to defend one day in a deposition against the Judiciary Committee? $50,000. My time is up. So there are things that we need to look at and watch those.